Welcome back to the All Bets Are Off podcast. How you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I am ready to do this interview. That's how I am.
Hell yeah.
I want to start with the big news is your new single,
Yes.
and I want you to just take us away, tell us about it, the name of it, where the inspiration came from. Let's hear it all.
Cool. All right. So the new song is called End of Me. And this was the last song I wrote for the EP. And I normally write everything first. So I normally do like a full production at my home studio, which I'm in. And then I go to the studio and then we just like add the actual instruments and whatnot because I use like MIDI for everything. But for this one, I really wanted it to be heavy, very guitar driven, very like powerful. So I sat down with my drummer who also plays guitar, Zaki, and Brandon as well, who plays guitar. And I told them I was very influenced by like orbit culture at the time, and I still am, but they have a song, actually a couple of songs. Anyways, it's very powerful and very just like driving, like aggressive songs. So we just kind of like sat down and kind of just started building, and he was coming up with some riffs and I started humming along, and it just kind of like organically came together. And that was like the first song we really sat together and wrote from scratch, without any like preconceived idea. So that was really cool and it's very special to me. And the lyrics are just about wanting to be with somebody so much and then being with them and realizing that this is not what you thought, and just kind of leaving disappointed, but realizing that like it's not the end of the world and you'll be okay, but it just sucks.
Wow, that's pretty deep meaning behind that.
Yeah.
So now, when you guys were writing the song, you said it's the first time you approach songwriting in this specific type of way. Do you think that that's what you're going to do moving forward because you enjoyed it so much, or
Yeah, definitely. I mean, sometimes I come up with like an idea, and what normally happens is I come up with like a chorus idea and I'll record that, and then I just end up like the entire song usually just comes out. So it's not normally a plan. But yeah, definitely have more songs like that because it was very organic and we've been working together, like especially me and Zach have been working together for I think 7 years now.
oh,
So we have a very good understanding of like how we vibe. And with Brandon, it's been since 2021. So
oh wow, okay. So you
yeah.
said you went into it with no preconceived notions or anything about, what was going on. So does that mean even lyrically you had no idea what the direction that the song was going to go in at all?
Yeah, none. Um, when I heard the chorus, I started humming along, and then what I normally do is I just start talking and improvising and just seeing what comes out. And the lyrics started to come together, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I solidified like a concept that I wanted for the song, and then I just kind of like built around that.
So you said it's like a deep meaning song to you. So do you feel like when you're recording and you're singing these songs that have the deeper meanings, does that help you really like belt these out to like I don't know if you're like me or not, but being in a studio is hard for me because I like to have an audience. And when I don't have an audience, I don't feel like I'm singing my best. So I have to like envision that I'm performing. So for a song that has a lot of deep meaning, is it easier for you to get into that headspace of just belting it out?
I guess I don't know. I feel very comfortable in the studio. I think, uh, first of all, I'm usually by myself. Like especially when I recorded these songs for the actual EP, for the single, I recorded it at the studio, but I tracked myself. And Zach usually is the one who's like tracking everything. But I was like, you know what? For the last couple songs, I was like, let me just do it because I am very controlling when it comes to like how I sound, and it's so much easier for me to do it because I do it, at home all the time. So I like kicked him out for like 4 hours, and I just tracked everything myself. So it was, I like it because I feel like I'm like, this is my own little like cave. So
Mm,
it was a lot
okay.
more freeing, I think.
I do remember last time we had you on, which I think was like 2 years ago by now.
Oh
But
my God.
yeah, I know. And I think we were talking about how you literally are hands on and do absolutely everything. Even your own hair. So
Yeah.
like, so that doesn't actually surprise me that you just went in and took over.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I'm not like in a rude way. It's just like, for example, like, I, if I record something, like, I'm not sure how I want to like, if I want like to add vibrato here and have like some sort of like extra thing about like I'm very specific at how I record each note. So I'll record the same verse like 5 times and then I'll go back and I'm like, oh, I like what I did here, not there. And then I go back and then I will double it. And it's just a lot of like me thinking, and instead of like wasting somebody else's time being like, "You good?" So I just do it myself.
No, no, that makes complete sense, especially because you can and you know how to do those things. So, now just for a second here, I want to talk about this past year that you went on your first tour, I think you said it was.
Yeah.
So, how did that come about? Did you put that all together yourself too, or?
No. So my manager was in contact with a booking agent, and he was looking for another female fronted band to add on like a little tour. So I was offered the opportunity through that, and he booked everything and was in control of that. James from Lion Anxiety Entertainment. So I didn't have to do that, which was nice. But at the end of the day, like I was still like my tour manager and like everything else. So it's like he booked it, and then all the other shit fell on me.
I was gonna say I was almost shocked there when you said that it wasn't you. I was like, well, hold
No,
on.
don't worry. I did every other thing. Yeah, no, it was cool. It was exciting. I went into it being like, this is not going to be like the glamorous like tour you see with like, the big bands and whatever, but I had fun. I met a lot of really cool people. The bands that we played shows with were in these really cool like local bands. And it was nice to see the local scenes outside of, New York, New Jersey, because it's very it's a small group, and I kind of like have a pretty good idea of what a lot of them are. So it was nice to see people who from like a totally different like life, and it was really cool.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, when you were out there, did you have a favorite city, a favorite venue, a favorite show of any kind?
I like Skeletones. That was in Grand Rapids,
Mhm.
and the guy told me that Amy Lee and Evanescence performed there years and years ago. So I was like, that's pretty cool. So I was like, this is my favorite venue.
That's awesome. How many cities was it total?
I think it was 8.
8?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty good run for your first time on, a tour like that. So, did this now you kind of told us how it happened, but did it like fall into your lap or did
No,
you
I was kind of looking for something, and me and my manager were like talking about, um, potentially, starting to now tour because that's like the
Mhm.
next step. But obviously touring is very expensive, and I couldn't go too far for too long, plus like work and whatever. But it was definitely like a discussion. I was very interested in like, trying it. And again, like me and my bandmates, we've played, 3 shows in a row here and there, but like this was like the first time we've been together for I think we traveled, I think it was a total of 11, 10, maybe it was 10 days. That we were all together and we got along great. No one wanted to kill each other, so that was great. No,
That
and
is great.
it's like they are the most chill people to like do anything with. So it was a cool experience. And I got the bug. I really want to do it again. So
Oh,
hopefully next year I'll do something.
okay, so that was my follow-up question was, do we think that we're going to see this from you again soon?
I hope so. Um yeah, definitely. And then I would like to go down the East Coast because I have people yelling at me that I haven't been there yet. So
So with this new song that you've got coming out and hopefully, touring in 25, how many releases are we looking at for you right now? Do you even know how many total you have out?
um so I have a bunch of songs that were out, and then TuneCore decided to accuse me of falsifying my streams, and they deleted 10 of my original songs.
Oh my God.
So,
So wait. So what are we doing about that, first of all?
nothing. I really can't do anything about it.
Hmm.
I can fight it, but I think because some of those were released in like 2018, 2019, which wasn't that long ago, but my sound
Hmm.
has definitely evolved since then. So as I play a lot of them live and I have them available like on my Patreon, I have my physical EP CD available, but I kind of like that they're not on my Spotify anymore. And now it's
Hmm.
kind of like a niche thing because also like some of the songs, like Serenity, which is one that I absolutely love. I was very pissed that that one was gone, but I think, I put it on Patreon and a lot of people have downloaded it and then just download it before it was gone. So I
Hmm.
think it'd be kind of cool to like play that live and see how many people actually know it. And then it's
Hmm.
like a little like a cult secret, I guess. I don't know.
Have you considered re-releasing any of them on through a different streaming service?
I did. I think maybe one day in the far future I'll do like a just like I don't know, like the archives or something, or like
Mm.
make a little EP about that. But
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. So, last time you were here, again, I think it was about 2 years ago. We weren't doing this next segment that we now do. So this is going to be your first time. We
ooh,
have a lightning round now where we just let the listeners get to know our guests. So these are going to be a bunch of random questions, and some of them have nothing to do with absolutely anything, but
I
we
love
don't care.
I love that. I like random things.
All right. Well, the first one's not going to be too random because I want to know what you would be doing right now if it wasn't music.
If it wasn't music,
Yes.
does dance count?
Of course, of course. I mean, when I say music, I mean lead singer,
Oh,
that kind of thing. So
I'd probably be doing theater.
theater.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So, like dancing or acting?
So, probably dancing, musical theater. I mean, I grew up doing that, so it's it's pretty much right in there. And then I was like, yeah, fuck this. I'm gonna be in a metal band and went completely the other direction. But no, I still have that theater side somewhere in there. But I do miss dancing. I was a dancer for like most of my life.
Wow, what a huge like spectrum you just like. I'm a ballet dancer. Oh fuck it, I'm a metal singer. Like,
Yep, pretty much.
all right. How about do you prefer New York style pizza or Chicago?
Oh, okay. Fun fact about that. I did not play in Chicago. We drove through Chicago, but
Oh,
Jackie really wanted deep dish pizza. So we literally drove out our way, went to Chicago, went to Giordano's, which is like
mm.
one of like the big places in Chicago, for deep dish pizza. We got a giant pizza that lasted us like 4 days. And yes, so I can say I've had Chicago pizza and New York is so much better.
I'm just impressed that you just said you had a pizza that lasted 4 days.
It was okay. It was like this job. Okay, so he got the meat lovers one or something, and I got this other little one, but his was like this big, and it was like this thick, and there's just so much meat in it. So it's like you had two slices and you were set, and then it was really good. I ate one of his slices though.
But you're sticking with New York.
Oh yeah, 100%.
All right. So how about do you prefer dinner or dessert?
Mm, dessert.
How
There are times
about
I won't eat dinner and I'll just eat dessert.
dessert for dinner? What about so since you prefer dessert, do you prefer chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Good answer. All right, so here's a good one for you because I know you're a horror movie buff like myself. So you're watching a horror movie. Are you leaning more towards a slasher or a psychological thriller?
Ooh, I like a slasher.
I also will second that answer. What's your favorite slasher
Right now, it just
right now?
does Terrifier count as a slasher? Because that kind of has everything in it. Like
It does.
all horror genres are like in that movie. But I would say that.
I think that you're right, but I do consider that a slasher.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
So here's a weird one for you. You're going through the Bermuda Triangle. Are you taking a boat or a plane, and why?
I'm taking a boat because it's more fun. And I've actually been on a cruise and I went through the Bermuda Triangle on a boat.
And you're here to tell us
I'm
about it.
here. Yep. It
So
was fun.
were you bummed? Were you like, oh, nothing happened?
Kind of. I was like, well, that was anticlimactic.
I love that. You're the first person that actually said, oh, I actually have done that.
Yeah, they have a one of their beaches there. By the way, I've went on one cruise in my life, and it happened to be to Bermuda. And they have an entire beach that's has pink sand, and like the water is so clear and beautiful. I have
Oh,
no idea what
wow.
the beach was called, but
Well, Pink Sand Beach.
yeah, there's a picture of me with combat boots on that beach.
I love that. You got it. You should send that in to me and I'll post it with this interview.
I'm gonna find it for sure.
So, back to the horror movie thing. If you could be in any horror movie and take, a starring role in that movie, what movie would it be?
Like a new version of the movie?
No, no, the version that already exists.
Oh,
If you could go back and be in it, any movie, any time period, any role, what are you picking?
probably Scream.
What role would you play?
Sydney.
You
I
want
don't
to
know.
be the final girl.
Yeah, I was like, fuck it, I'll be the final girl.
Yeah. And why do you pick Scream?
Because I think it has like the violence in it, but it also has a psychological aspect to it that I like. Even though I know I said slasher, but that kind of has both. I feel like.
It does. It kind of reinvented the horror genre itself. It gave it like new life.
Yeah.
So aside from horror movies, do you have a favorite movie in general, or are you just strictly the horror movie person?
No. My one of my favorite movies is Clue. Um,
Oh,
love that movie. My cousin Vinny and The Emperor's New Groove.
okay. I did not see that last one coming.
It's so good. I quote it every day.
You know, it's great because it is so geared towards adults, and David Spade is just amazing.
Oh my god, he is. And Kronk, he's just so fucking dumb. It's great.
And not to mention, my cousin Vinny is so underrated these days, and I don't know why.
I don't know why either. That is another movie that I quote on a daily basis somehow. Um, but like whenever like if I say something stupid, and my dad will be like, "They didn't teach you that in law school." Like we just quote that movie all the time. Yeah, that's
I,
definitely
I I feel like that's one of those movies that was so great and then suddenly just started flying under the radar, and now
yeah.
like not enough people know it, but it still holds up like 100%.
Oh yeah. Did you ever see Clue, the one from
Oh
1978?
God. Yeah, I love that.
Such a great movie. A lot of people don't realize that either. Like they don't. I say Clue, and they're like, "What?" I've made so many of my friends watch this damn movie because I'm like, it's so funny, and when I quote it, you need to understand where it's coming from. But yeah, so those three movies are pretty much my entire dialogue is just from those movies.
Got it. So while talking to you, just be on the lookout for those.
Yeah, I might.
So, staying on just television in general, do you have a favorite TV show?
Hmm. Not really. Do like I guess kind of. So there's a show called Would I Lie to You, and it's a British TV show. There's a panel of judges. There's like two teams, three on one side, three on the other, and they read cards and they have to read it as a fact, and it's either a lie or it's the truth, and everyone has to ask questions. And it's a bunch of comedians basically, so it's absolutely hilarious. They're in season 17 now, so I've been watching that a lot. And I mean, back on like horror, I still love, like Haunting of Hill House, Blind Manor, Midnight Mass, like those kind of movies, shows. Over here, let's quote something. Hmm. I ran out of ideas. But yeah, so Midnight Mass, Haunting of Hill House, Haunting of Blind Manor, pretty much anything that he's done. I did like the Fall of the House of Usher. That was pretty good too. Um, I also obviously love Edgar Allan Poe because I am basic. So I liked the inspiration for that. I'm trying to think of any other shows that I watch. I'll like binge things on Netflix and whatnot, and then just kind of OD on that, which is usually what happens. On an unrelated note, well, over here, hello. I broke all my nails. I just glued them on, and these three just they were gone. Mm-hmm. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do.
You got me back?
Yep,
Can you
I,
hear me?
I can hear you.
I heard everything you were saying and I'm leaving it all in.
Hell yeah. I realized still recording and I was like, ah, fuck it.
All right, so I think we were talking about TV shows before I left and came back, but I heard Haunting of Hill House in there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that
And
Blind Manor. I liked Fall of the House of Usher because I like Edgar Allan Poe and I thought that was a really cool inspiration for it. Um, but yeah, that is.
now let's take it back farther and say, what was your favorite cartoon?
Oh man. Uh, Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh, that's a good one.
By the way, that's on Netflix again, and I just started rewatching it.
How many episodes are there of that show? It's got to be a lot, right?
I don't know. They got like it's gone so far that they have like a talking dog now, and there's a baby, and like, everything got fucking weird, and I stopped. Um, I don't know. I probably stopped watching show honestly after like season 7 or 8, but yeah, I think so.
Wow.
And season 4 is available on Netflix starting.
Wow, there's that many, 7 or 8. Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know that show lasted that long.
I think it's still going on, to be honest.
Oh. All right, so I want to get back to your writing because obviously we're talking about your new single. Now, do you have things lined up beyond this that you're already working on and getting ready for after this new single, or are you taking it one step at a time right now?
Nope. We have an EP that's going to come out probably end of February, maybe early March. Um, the songs are already done. So, I mean, some of them are going to be the ones that are already out, and it's just going to be collective because, I feel like that's a thing. You release 3 singles and then the EP. Um, so I'm doing the same thing. And so that's going to be, physical, and then probably announcing some shows to like run that a little bit. I don't think it's going to be a tour, but just a couple of local ish shows.
Okay. Now, this is kind of like a dream sequence question here, but if there was anybody out there that you could sit down and write a song with, who would you choose?
Adam Gontier from 3 Days Grace on Saint Asonia. Oh, actually, 3 Days Grace again. Um, yeah, his writing style has been a huge influence on me. Since I Hate Everything About You, like that song, I
Mm.
saw it on MTV and I was like, oh my God, this is really cool. And I don't know, it's just kind of the place and where he writes, like mentally as well, is kind of what I do. And I don't know, I just think it'd be really cool. Plus, I think we'd sound cool together.
Now, I want to point out too, because so you're talking about 3 Days Grace. You mentioned Evanescence earlier. So that scene, that new metal scene, is that would you say is like your biggest influence usually?
Yeah, definitely. That, Ian, like, Breaking Benjamin,
Mm.
Hailstorm, and then it also is, like, depending on, like, what I'm listening to at the moment. Like I said, I was listening to a lot of Orbit Culture at the beginning of this, and I was kinda showing them, like I was also listening to a lot of Septic Flesh, but that's a little too metal for me personally as an artist, like, I don't scream and I don't growl. But, yeah, I mean, each song I think is kind of from a different place.
Do you think that there's anything that you listen to that would maybe shock your fans that they would be like, "Oh wow, I would have never thought that she listens to whatever band."
Um Well, I listen to, like, a lot of no, not a lot, but I've been listening to, like, EDM, like, dance music
Mm.
recently. Every now and then I need a palate cleanser, and I still listen to, like, classical music as well.
Okay, so I was actually just going to ask you that. So that's again, you got to my question before me, but
You're
with
just so on the right,
I
you're in.
know. So with being, a dancer for so long and ballet and that's a part of you. So classical music has got to like hit you a certain type of way.
Oh, yeah. Whenever I hear it, I'm automatically choreographing something in my head. But, whether it's like, George Handel or Tommaso Albinoni or Mozart, Beethoven, the classics and whatever, I listened to a lot of that. It was
Mm,
actually funny. So I was driving with my friend to the city, and the song Tattoo by Lauren came on, which
mm.
is like it's popular on like TikTok now. It's more like an EDM pop song. And then right after that was Septic Flesh, Pyramid God. And then right after that was like an adagio from Albinani, and it was just like all over the place. And she looked at me, and I was like, "This is my brain." She looked everywhere.
Have you ever considered, you said sometimes or you miss dancing or whatever. Do you ever consider going back to it or?
So I actually have. I started taking class at Broadway Dance Center again. I went and took class with my teacher, though I've trained with for like maybe 12 years. No,
Oh,
that's not.
wow.
Yeah, about 12 years. So I went and took that class again, which was nice. And then I honestly do a lot of virtual stuff because this used to be my dance studio, even though now it's a recording studio, so it's cut in half. So like
Mhm.
this half is the recording and that half is the dance. So that's actually a mirror right there. It's not extra lights. Um,
Oh.
as a surprise. It's all an illusion. So I would like to go back to take class again, but my schedule's been a little chaotic. So I've been taking class in my basement at like midnight.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you don't sleep.
No, I did that last night, and I woke up this morning. I was like, "Why does my neck hurt?" So
So
bad.
Well, you talked about how your schedule is, pretty hectic in that. So let's talk about how you do have a show coming up soon, actually. You want to plug that show?
Sure. It's on December 6th. It's going to be in Broadheadsville, Pennsylvania. I'm opening it for Paralandra and Scotty Austin, who is in Saving Abel. So that should be cool.
Paralandra, that is Cassandra, right?
Yes.
Yes. So her new album just came out, Cassandra's Crossing, and it was phenomenal. So
Oh yeah.
that's really cool that you're playing that show with them. Now, is that your last show for this year?
Yes.
Okay, very cool. So again, back to the single, you said it will eventually be a part of your EP, which is coming out in early 25. What's the title of the EP?
Um, it was called Through the Veil.
Hmm.
And then I was debating on changing it actually recently. Um, so I had like the cover art for it and everything and had this really cool concept, but I might tweak it a little bit. But I do like the name Through the Veil because it's kind of like breaking through the old version of me. I also
Yeah.
wanted to call it like Alyxx 2.0 because I feel like this is such a more evolved version than the first EP that I did back in 2019. Um, but no, I do like Through the Veil, so I'll probably stick with that, but I do change my mind very often, so until it's, like, on paper or, like, in the system ready to go, it might change, but I think I'll stick with it.
Okay. And how many songs are we looking at total?
5.
5 songs. Cool. So you said that will probably be, I got to check my notes here, February, early March.
Yes.
All right, awesome. So you're going to kick off next year with a bang, and hopefully we'll catch you out on tour, and I'll come out and see you like I was going to this time, and then I ended up with my own booking. So,
That's totally fun.
so one last thing before I get you out of here is I just want you to, again, for new listeners who didn't hear the last episode that we did with you, plug everything you got, where they can get your music, your social media, how they can keep in touch with, what you have going on, when the EP actually drops, and all that stuff.
Yeah, so everything will be available on my website, which is at officialalyxx, ALYXX.com. All of my socials are official Alyxx. Again, same as the website. It's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, which I think is connected now. Even my YouTube is actually just at Alyxx because somehow I got that before somebody else took it, which is why I'm official Alyxx for everything else. So I've had my YouTube forever. I've been like slacking on that, but anyways, so yes, you can keep up to date with me. I'm most active on Instagram because it's easier for me, but I do post everything. It's gonna be on my website.
Okay, very cool. And again, thank you so much for being here. And this was a lot of fun. And I cannot believe how much time went by in between interviews. When I checked this morning, I was mind blown because I don't feel like it was that long ago.
I don't feel like it was that long ago. Was it really 2 years ago?
Yeah, I think it's pretty close. Yeah,
Damn.
yeah, weird.
Okay, well, I blink and time flies by.
And this one's going to be extra special because there's a whole couple minutes in there where it's just you.
Yay! You gonna see me like talking to myself. Awesome.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
I'm excited. I showed you, I don't know if you could see it, but I showed my nails that I broke them all. So
Actually, no, I did not see that, but I heard it as I was like fixing everything, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
you're gonna look back and be like, oh my God.
It'll be great. I have a feeling it's going to be a bigger hit than the last one.